Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. This is Lynn from DevineCentral. It is March 23rd, 2022, and I am here with another mailbag reading for the month of March. How's that? All right, so today, before I get started, I just want to thank everybody who's been so kind and who has subscribed and liked and commented on my videos. I'm working so hard to try to grow this channel. So if you would please remember to like and subscribe if you are so inclined and have not already done so, I would really, really appreciate it. Okay, so I am going to switch cameras here. I'm going to show you that today I am working with the Majestic Earth Tarot. Rick, I'm doing this for you. I know that I have somebody who really likes the fact that I switch out all these decks, and it's always something different. This is a very a nice deck. It's a really high quality deck. It's got a really nice box, book to go with it. The cardstock is ridiculously hard. It is not coated. It is lightly coated, and so it's easier to shuffle. But it is a little oversized, and it does have the gilded edges on it. So it's kind of a nice deck. The only thing is because it's so hard to shuffle, you have to shuffle it longer, that's all, just a lot more to make sure it's all good and shuffled. So I've already done that. I'm going to get started right away with the question. I got this. What to do with my free time? New job, new skills, back to school? Any advice would be appreciated. I have a bachelor's degree in business management and psychology with a minor in HR. I was a pretty gifted student with exceptional problem-solving skills, communication, and people skills. Unfortunately, my job for the last 6 years, managing a small bar, hasn't left me with any real technical skills moving forward. I have luckily found myself in a situation where I have enough free time during the week for a full-time job, although I would rather a part-time, and about $20,000 that I can afford to invest. Would it be in my best interest to just focus on learning new skills, spend the time learning about real estate investments, for example, possibly go back to school, or are there decent paying jobs I could find with my experience and I feel as though I have just enough knowledge about several specializations and interests that I could have a compelling conversation with an expert in those fields, but not even close enough to be considered an authority in them? Any advice? Okay, so I'm going to do my favorite kind of reading, which is the either or. I just love those, option one, option two. So I've already shuffled, so let's just get going. Oh, I'm going to start like this. This is going to be our, this is going to be the crux of the matter, okay? This is going to be if this individual decides to, should he learn something new? Should he pick up more skills? Or should he just dive right into the market, the job market, and gain his learning that way? And then we'll ask Spirit to give us a little advice. Okay. All right. You ready? Okay. So for the crux of the matter, we have the Nine of Stones, which is akin to the Nine of Earth or the Nine of Pentacles. And you know what this tells me? This tells me that this individual is just comfortable in his own skin. He's extremely independent, very smart, but has done all this on his own. Has done everything that he's got. He's just really worked for and has had a penchant for. And so this is somebody with a lot of confidence and who's very independent that could really just pick up on anything that he wanted. So his world is his oyster, for that matter. So should he go back to school or learn some other trade or pick up more through education first? We have the Ten of Stones. We have the Three of Trees, which is akin to the Three of Wands. And then we have the Magician. So guess what? The Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Wow. Okay. So here's somebody who is, he's secure no matter what he does. I mean, this is just, he is so smart in business. He's so smart in anything that he does that he will have that security. He will have And I look at this picture, and I almost look at, see the big tower and everything. It's almost as if he is it almost looks institutional like, doesn't it? It almost looks like that should be the Hermit card, or not the Hermit, but the Hierophant card, doesn't it? It's like that institutional look, which could very well say, hey, if he goes back, he's going to be able to pick up, he would benefit from it, is what I'm saying. He would benefit if he went back to school. The Three of Trees, or the Three of Wands. I love the fact that he puts himself out there and he looks at the big picture. You see him standing on the ledge, looking down over, stop that. There we go. Looking down over the lake and the hillside, looking at the bigger picture, and that's kind of what he's doing. And he would be doing that by going back to school, would he not? He would just throw himself out there, but the question for me would be, for what? I mean, what skills? What would you go back to school for? I mean, you already have a degree. What would you go back to school for? You would have to figure that out. So you'd have to throw that out there and see what comes back to you as far as, what kind of education you'd go after. The Magician, you know what? You have all the tools already. To me, it's just a matter of how you're going to use them. What do I see in here? So I see he's looking at an apparition in the tunnel, and I think that what's happening is, I think it's about self-control. It's about manifesting what you want. So if he knows what he wants to go back to school for, he can manifest that, and he would absolutely, I'm sure, be able to make that happen. But what if instead, hang on just a second, I gotta have a sip. All right, so what happens if instead he just jumps right into the workforce and gets on with it, okay? Because he already has his degree, right? All right. We have the Hermit. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Emperor. It's like, okay, so we got some major stuff happening here. If he gets out in the workforce, it's going to be in a major way, okay, however he does it. This guy is being the Hermit. He's wise. He's smart. He already knows who he is. We know that from the Nine of Stones. So now it's just a matter of him, using a little introspection and figuring out where it is, what does he want to do? Where does he want to go? But I'll tell you, I think he's wise enough and smart enough that if he gets out there in the field, I think that he is, I think he's humble enough, that he can approach these people and show them how smart he is, but do it in a way that he's not, coming across arrogant or like he's trying to be more than he is. I don't see that. I don't hear that in him. So we have the Wheel of Fortune as well. And you know what? This is a guy that is so contemplative, between the Hermit and all this stuff. I think that he can adapt to any situation that he goes and applies for. He has that ability, to adapt. He already understands it. And I think that with the Wheel of Fortune coming up, it shows that things are going to be looking his way. To me, when I see the Wheel of Fortune, unless it's in a negative position that I've created, I always see it as turning up. And so I think that, and you know what? I think it's time for a change for him. I think that he, it's to me, it's looking like the workforce would be a smarter move because he needs the change. So we also have the Emperor, and this is, again, we have somebody who is a big picture guy. We have somebody who is a strategist, and who knows what he can offer, and he just doesn't have to offer more than that. But it's a strategy, and I think he has the ability. A lot of people are very, very smart, and they're very authoritative in their own areas, but they just don't know they don't have any strategy. And this guy can be, he says, I'm certainly not an authority, but I can talk to people who are, in a very, good conversational way. I think he's being humble. I think he's more of an authority on these things than he thinks he is. So what is the Spirit saying? What is the advice of this reading? It is the Hierophant. It's the Hierophant. I was just talking about the Hierophant here one night. See what I'm saying by the Hierophant? It's like, it just looks like big institution, you know? But here's the thing. The Hierophant I see the Hierophant as like a leader in a very small group of people. So it can be like a department head or the owner of a small business. It can be the doctor in the doctor's clinic, in the clinic. But it's somebody who guides and leads people in a very small area, but they do it in a very traditional way. And I think what this is saying is there's something to sacrifice. It's doing something in a traditional way, and maybe and sacrificing to be included or to be welcomed in to that small group. And so I think that while he would work either way. He could go back to school because this could be an institution, right? But I think what's going to happen is I think he needs to step out and start getting more experience in the other areas that he's already kind of qualified for, but he's already been educated for. I think he needs to step out and start getting that experience, but I think he needs to expect to start at the bottom of the totem pole because there is a hierarchy involved. There is a climbing the corporate ladder piece involved in the Hierophant. And so he might have to take less money, but I think it should be I think that he could do well either way, and I think he knows that. So, any last word from Spirit? I like the bottom of the deck, right? God, this thing's heavy. We have the Seven of Stones. We have the Seven of Earth. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm using the wrong camera. There we go. We have the Seven of Earth, and you know what? I think that. I don't think he needs to analyze this anymore. I think he's already analyzed it enough. I think he just needs to make a decision and have a little patience and see what comes out for him. So, if I had my choice, I'd go for getting in the workforce. He's already got the education, and all he's going to do is gain more education. How much more education can you gain, right? You need to get the life experience and the work experience. Anyway, I hope that this reading was fun. I hope that I'll be interested in your take on these cards and see what you think. Again, I will be back every Wednesday, and I will be back, and I'm getting ready to put out the Zodiacs in 2 days for all the Zodiac readings for April. So please like and subscribe and come back in a couple of days and see what your fortune is going to be for the month of April. See you guys later. Bye.